Today, we are with somebody who, if anyone's ever seen The Godfather, knows. His name is Gianni Russo, and he has done 46 films. He has recorded an album of Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin music. And from what I understand, he might have a new book coming out. Gianni Russo.
Thank you for having me. I definitely have a new book coming out, and I want to thank everybody for making my first book a bestseller for 3 years, The Hollywood Godfather. And my new book is The Sixth Family. It's available right now on Amazon. Thank you, ladies.
I'm sorry, what's it called?
The Sixth Family.
And what is this book about?
This book is about, this is my first novel. I've been commissioned to do 4. And I went to novels because my lawyers from my first book told me I'm incriminating myself and I should stop doing it. So under the protection of a novel, obviously you have more liberties. And I'm very happy that I'm getting 5-star reviews on it already. And it was launched on December 12th, my birthday, my 80th birthday, believe it or not.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
In the novel you're commissioned for 4. So is 2, 3, and 4 sequels to The Sixth Family?
No, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, each cover will be different. They want a book, 2 books a year. So my next book will be out for the spring summer read.
Wow. And are you almost through that? Because novels take a long time to write.
Well, the good news about this is I've been writing diaries since 1956.
Wow.
So my co-writer, Patrick Piccarelli, who teaches writing in the University in Pennsylvania, we've structured this and they offered it to us, and we're just happy as hell to be doing it because, to get a deal like this with Amazon, no less.
Wow.
So I can't believe today's technology. You can order a book tonight, they print it, and you have it by tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, it's something that they've accomplished, fortunately. And I sold my first book. I sold over 58,000 of hardcovers. I'm close to 100,000 in all the different other mediums, in audiobook and everything. I mean, I'm not totally aware of how many platforms they offer the book in.
Of all the things that you've accomplished, what is the one you're most proud of?
Staying alive. If you know anything about my life, my first years in 1949, I got polio in August and was put in Bellevue on 30th Street in the East End. I was there 5 years, quarantined.
Wow.
During the Jonas Salt. I was part of the Jonas Salt experiment. So after 5 years, I got out from that, and I was 12, and they just invented ballpoint pens. And I was selling ballpoint pens on the street corners downtown, and then decided to come up here to Upper East Side. I got off on 59th Street and 5th Avenue, across the street from the Sherry Netherlands, and I'm still here.
Of all the things that you've done, what is the thing you most regret?
Regret? I don't regret anything, seriously. To me, I always find, and I've been in some, heroic, situations where, horrifying, actually, and got through it. I was kidnapped by Pablo Escobar in 1989.
Oh, wow.
That's why the book was meaningful to me, because I'm watching my children and my grandchildren, and like we all are. These kids are so consumed by their gadgets and iPads and phones, they don't correspond. Like we didn't have conversation with each other. How do you get on with life? I don't know where they're going, and I'm watching it. So I wrote the book in '95, and I had to wait for certain statutes to go before I incriminate myself, not realizing Europe is 30-year statutes on some of the things.
Wow.
And, so with that said, fortunately now I'm writing and
Free
having
and
a lot
clear?
of fun.
Can you see your book being turned into a movie?
Well, I've had two offers already. It's interesting. I turned the book into a one-man show, and Tom Cantone at the Mohegan Sun was gracious enough. He bought it for 9 casinos,
Wow.
and I started performing it. I just performed it at Vibrato, Herb Alpert's club in California, and unbeknownst to me, Mel Gibson, Gene Simmons, and those kind of people were in my audience. And Mel Gibson got in touch with me, and he thinks it's an amazing story. He's reading my second book now, and he's offering me Robert Downey Jr. to play me.
Oh, fabulous.
So, I mean, it's my life just keeps going. As you mentioned, I've done 46 motion pictures, and I'm not an actor.
What would you consider yourself?
I just an adventurous, basically. I mean, when I hit the streets, I've been on the streets since I'm 12, and I'm still up here thanks to Frank Costello, who took me under his wing when I was 13. I stayed his messenger until he died, till 73. And by that time, he was very generous to me. In fact, I'm sitting in one of his apartments. I mean, if you see my dining room behind me, sits
It's
16.
gorgeous.
Yeah, and doesn't move a chair. I mean, the place is insane. I got an 8-stool bar, and it's on the Upper East Side. And what's better than that?
On the Upper West Side.
I don't like the West Side. I don't know why. I never
And
did.
I don't like the East Side.
Well, that's why there's people on both sides.
Absolutely. What have you not accomplished that you'd like to accomplish?
I'm doing that now. I'm getting involved with education. I never was educated because, as I said, I went to Bellevue. I was 6 and a half. I got out when I was 12 and watched 2,300 kids pass during that epidemic. And they weren't worried about educating us. And all we did was stare at ceilings because we didn't have televisions and elaborate,
Right.
hospitals then. And so when I got out, I just know to go to work and do whatever I wanted to do. And I've accomplished an awful lot for no education, but I surround myself with people who are educated and a lot smarter than I am, fortunately.
You're talking about going to work at 12 brings to me an interesting question. With all the migrants that are coming into New York right now that will not have jobs, what would be your recommendation to them?
Well, it's just such a different time, though. And when I was 12, we didn't have the overpopulation that we have already.
Right.
We don't have all the problems. I mean, I think COVID destroyed a lot of opportunities.
Oh, I agree.
And to me, I mean, I think this is the most difficult time America is seeing right now
I agree.
because there's so many people displaced.
I mean, when you think of the depression, you think of displaced, but I think this is worse than then.
Well, when I don't watch TV because it's too depressing to me, but all I keep hearing is how, you know, the mental issue is the biggest problem.
Right.
And when you start to analyze what's going on in society, as we all are, between the pandemic and I don't want to get political, but all these grants have taken the ambition away from a lot of people. They're just staying home and collecting checks. They don't want to go to work.
Agreed. I mean, every day people I must get at least 15 to 20 phone calls and at least 100 emails of people offering me money, but I don't believe in it. So,
Oh no, that's another thing you have to watch because so many people have been really fleeced out of their life savings with all these gimmicks
right.
that people are getting used to, and they think I'm here for a free ride. That's
Well,
one thing I never looked for.
I don't believe anything is free. So
No,
I'm not about to take something that I don't desperately need.
right.
Um, is there a film or a role that you would like to take on?
Not really. I was lucky enough to get involved on the production end early on. I helped you know, with the production of The Godfather, which was my first film, because that film was so chaotic at the beginning because they didn't know whether they were going to make it, not make it. And fortunately, I got a role that was very memorable.
Yeah, I
And
heard how you got that role.
oh yeah, well, well, thanks to that. It's funny because I was raised on Mulberry Street, and the influence of certain people really helped. And I've been using it forever.
Hey, if you can use what you have, use it.
Well, that's how I was raised. Take what you have and make it work, not what you don't have.
Where can we get this book?
On Amazon, they're both of
And
them are still on Amazon.
tell me the name of it again.
Well, Hollywood Godfather has been out 4 years. It's a bestseller. It's got over 2,500 five-star reviews.
Wow.
And the sixth family is out now for 3 weeks, and it's getting five-star reviews already.
And is there any place that anyone can see you perform or hear your music?
Well, my music is everywhere. Now we're getting back into it. COVID, my last live performance was up in Niagara Falls View, one of the Mohegan Sun casinos. And I just did Atlantic City. So they're coming back. So I would just follow me on my websites or GianniRusso.com or wherever you follow me. On my podcast also, I have a Hollywood Godfather podcast. It's in 73 countries.
Wow.
And I have over 200 hours up already. So we're constantly, I'm getting into this whole new world that I like you can tell, it took me 10 minutes to turn my computer on.
Well, sadly, because of that, we have to cut this short. And I want to thank you so much for being with us today.
Oh, no, my privilege, please. And I apologize for the
please.
miscommunication.
Nah, it's all good.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, ladies.
And you can go get Gianni Russo's books on Amazon.com.